Good Tuesday. Welcome in to Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Chris Yao alongside Maurice Patton, and we are live from Willowbrook Golf Course. As I can see the willow or the brook, depending on which way I lean, here in Manchester.
Perspective is everything, because I can see the Willow Brook. Yeah, we're at Bosky's Grill here at Willowbrook Golf Club in Manchester, where we just wrapped up the District 9 4A Basketball Media Day, which Columbia Central and Spring Hill are now a part of, along with Coffee County, which was the host school. Yeah, we got to do something about that fly.
That fly's got to go.
Yeah, Coffee County, Lincoln County, Shelbyville, and Warren County helped make up that new 6-team district there. So some new long road trips for Coffee County, for Columbia Central and Spring Hill. But yeah, we're over here for this, and it's crazy that we are 3 weeks away from high school basketball.
It seems like football season was just, last week. So
yeah,
it's rough out here.
It's hard out here for a high school sports journalist.
Yeah, no doubt. But excited for basketball season, because the colder it gets, that means the closer we are to inside. So,
right. Yeah.
Not opposed to that almost ever. So anyway, great show lined up for you. We've got WMSR Radio's Josh Peterson, who's going to join us and talk about that District 9 4A Media Day that just took place, and talk a little bit about what we can expect out of these teams and this district. It's a completely different world from what we're used to, so this should be a lot of fun. We've also got Terry McCormick's Titans Report, which has plenty to talk about as trade deadline looms, and apparently there are plenty of folks being shopped. If you're a Titans fan, you may not recognize this team by the time they play the Falcons.
If you're a Titans fan with jerseys,
yeah, just get your own jersey, put your name on it.
Yeah,
just do that. So, anyway, we'll also talk to Chip Walters a little bit later about MTSU and what's going on. I think he's been at the beach. I don't know if he's still there or not, but if he is, we'll just have to live vicariously through him.
Oh, most definitely.
So, anyway, we've got a little bit to get to, so we might as well do that. We've got a short but important rundown, so we'll give it to you now.
This is the Rundown.
Monday results from baseball. The Texas Rangers punched through to the World Series, their first appearance since 2011, with an 11-4 Game 7 victory over the host Houston Astros. And on the National League side, the Arizona Diamondbacks force a Game 7 with a 5-1 victory at Citizens Bank Park over the host Philadelphia Phillies. In the NFL, it was Minnesota 22, 49ers 17, and show of hands, who expected that?
Yeah, 0 people.
Nah. Girls soccer action today. This is state
It's
tournament.
actually tomorrow. I'm sorry.
It's actually tomorrow.
This is tomorrow before we go.
Oh, okay.
I
This is
apologize.
tomorrow. Okay, that explains it then. Okay, so state girls soccer tournament action tomorrow before we come on the air. These are all 1:30 starts of local interests. Signal Mountain takes on Hume Fogg. Merrill Hyde faces Madison Academic, and Ravenwood faces Oakland. Again, those are all 1:30 starts, and those will all be played at the Richard Siegel Soccer Complex over in Murfreesboro. We'll have more as the week progresses.
We will, in fact. Major League Baseball tonight at 7:07 on TBS. It is Game 7, the Diamondbacks and the Phillies in Philadelphia. NBA season tips off tonight officially with a doubleheader on TNT. The Lakers are at the Nuggets at the 6:30 tip on TNT, and at 9 o'clock it's the Phoenix Suns at the Golden State Warriors. NHL action tonight at Bridgestone Arena at 8:15 p.m. on Valley Sports South. It's Vancouver at football. Hashtag weekday CUSA action at 6 o'clock on CBS Sports Network. New Mexico State is at Louisiana Tech, and Liberty is at Western Kentucky at 6:30 tonight on ESPNU. And if I had nothing else to do, I would have gone to this game. It's going to be a great one. I'm looking forward to watching it on the U. But that is, folks, your rundown. Top stories brought to you by our friends at Piggly Wiggly, Neely's Mill Shopping Center in Columbia. Make sure to go see their fine folks there if you're looking for daily lunch specials. They've got meats, vegetables, cobblers, of course, fresh hand-cut meats as well. Don't forget the great produce, and everything is cost plus 10% at the register. So make sure to go see them at Piggly Wiggly and Neely's Mill Shopping Center in Columbia.
I bet they also sell floss waters at Piggly Wiggly.
Oh, I am done with the swap.
We need to go to break so Chris can take care of this fly.
I can't take care. I've tried it. It won't land.
Smart fly.
Clearly. Gee, Merry Christmas, man. This is something else.
Anyway, top story. And our top story is, I don't know that it's a certainty because I started seeing this on various social media channels last night, but it sounds as if last night's 11-4 loss will be the final game of Dusty Baker's managerial career.
Yeah, I mean, the Athletics reporting it through allegedly sources.
Yeah, the Athletic around midnight last night, roughly. Dusty Baker tells multiple people that 2023 is his final season as Astros manager, according to sources expressed to multiple people inside and outside of the Houston Astros organization, but declined comment when asked by the Athletic if he had told people in the game that this was his last season. Dusty's 74. I don't know how many people realize that. But that's what's being reported. Supposedly this is his last season. I mean, it would make sense if that is indeed the case.
Well, his contract's up, so I mean, here's the thing about him retiring. There is a lot of open jobs in Major League Baseball.
Mhm.
And so, that kind of puts you in a situation of, well, then where do we go from here if you're Houston? So I don't know. Maybe they try to entice him to stick around one more year. I don't know. I'm not sure it's necessary, but
Not sure it's necessary for him to leave
for
or
Houston to, to try and entice him. If he wants to go, let him go.
well, I mean, you feel like one. I think Dusty Baker leaves Houston in a way better situation than they were in when he got there, because they were coming out of some controversy. They needed some they needed some image rehab in a big way. I think Dusty helped with that, while at the same time, keeping them competitive, obviously. So I think if he leaves, I think he's accomplished everything that the Astros really wanted him to.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he won the World Series. Of course, they probably would have liked to have won a couple more since they got there, twice more. But it is what it is.
Sure.
It's a hard thing to do. It's a hard thing to win the World Series.
It is a hard. It is a hard thing to win a World Series, as we can attest, and as I'm hoping that somebody else will be able to attest after tonight.
No doubt.
Hashtag come sit with us.
If Dusty retires, Bob Melvin won't be managing the Astros because he has joined the San Francisco Giants. Sources have confirmed to ESPN.
Okay. Now, that's interesting because the San Francisco Giants interviewed one of their assistant coaches last week, Alyssa Nakken, Nakken, who was the first woman to interview for a Major League Baseball managerial position. And I guess they decided to go in a different direction.
Well, the Padres and Bob Melvin have not had a perfectly symbiotic relationship.
No, they have not. Not necessarily through any fault of Bob Melvin's, I don't think.
No, I mean,
I just don't know that you can lay all of the blame for the Padres underachieving 2023 season at Bob Melvin's feet.
AJ Preller is in his 9th year with the Padres and is about to hire his 5th manager.
Are you sure?
Yeah, that's okay.
I mean,
okay.
Are you sure?
If he gets to hire them, it would be the 5th time he's hired one in 9 years.
And that's my next question.
I don't think so. I don't think he survives this.
Maybe it's the person doing the hiring.
Okay, but
5 in 9 years?
But hear me out.
No, stop. That's not even one every 2 years, dude.
I know it. That's wild.
AJ Preller is getting ready to hire his 5th manager in 9 years. How do you let AJ Preller hire his 5th manager in 9 years?
Well, if they were going to fire AJ Preller,
it should have already been done.
Why did they give the Giants permission to interview
Bob Melvin?
Bob Melvin?
Because they knew they were both gone.
But if you're getting rid of Preller, then that takes care of the Bob Melvin issue.
Maybe you just want a clean slate on both ends. Maybe you're going to hire a GM and let him hire his manager.
That's probably a good idea. Man, the Padres.
Meanwhile, the Mets managerial position is still open.
First one to be open.
Yeah. Mets gonna Met.
I will be shocked if Gabe Kapler is not the New York Mets manager next year. Shocked. And
so sweet tea would be great.
Sure, that would be fantastic. Yes, So we are, thank you to the staff here at Bosky's who are taking great care of us. Clearly, so. But yeah, this
Timing
is
isn't the greatest.
that's hey, look, we don't care. We'll take sweet tea anytime we can get it.
Well, there is a.
But yeah, so I mean, this is
What openings are there?
okay. So
Apparently, the Padres is open.
clearly the Padres are open.
The Giants are not.
The Giants are no longer open. The Padres, and if Dusty retires the Astros,
The Mets,
technically the Brewers,
because Craig Counsell's
Technically.
contract is up,
right,
and a new contract has not been announced.
right. So technically it's an open position. And yes, the Mets.
Is that it?
I think that's it.
Well, that's not so bad for the Padres.
Oh, the Angels.
The Angels.
Oh, the Angels. Yeah, the Angels are open, and apparently Buck Showalter is a candidate.
Did Mike Scioscia?
I'll be honest with you, I don't know. I just on MLB.com 30 minutes ago, Showalter candidate for Angels manager from sources. So John Paul Morosi reporting that former Mets manager Buck Showalter is a candidate to become the Angels' next manager. Showalter has a connection to the Angels general manager Perry Manassian, who was a scout and coaching assistant with the Rangers while Showalter served as his manager from 03 to 06. So there you go.
When did the Angels come up?
That's a great question because I didn't know. Terry Francona retired too. The Guardians.
That's right.
are
The
open.
Guardians are open. Yeah. Again, when did the Angels come open?
I honestly do not know.
Oh, okay. Oh, good God. I said Mike Scioscia. Okay, what happened? Phil Nevin took over as the Angels interim manager for the final 106 games of 2022, replacing Joe Madden. Had the interim tag removed when he signed a one-year deal to manage the team in 2023. The Halos declined Nevin's 2024 club option after they went 119-149 over parts of two seasons under his stewardship. So Phil Nevin is gone from the Angels. I told you a couple of weeks ago.
But it was just a one-year deal.
Yeah.
So technically, they
They just
fire
didn't
him.
re-
They just
they just
renew him.
didn't
So
renew
that's why we didn't know it was open.
Okay. So yeah. So it came open at the end of the year when they did not extend or re-sign. Yeah. So again, like you said, the Angels, the Giants, which is no longer, but the Padres, the Guardians, and the Mets.
And the Brewers and the Astros, potentially.
Possibly on both counts. Now, again, the Mets' new president comes from Milwaukee. So there are some connecting those dots between him and Craig Counsell, former Brewers manager. But that's interesting.
As a Braves fan, don't love that.
What?
Craig Counsell with the Mets.
Yeah.
I actually like Craig Counsell. I think he's a pretty competent guy.
I think he's done a great job
I
in
think
Milwaukee.
he's done a great job in Milwaukee. And so.
But here's a question that I would ask, and the question that I think anybody considering the Mets managerial position. Why do I want to manage that team?
Well, and yeah, I mean, it's going to be a, who are these guys kind of situation for a while. It's going to be, Lou Brown call the guy down at the tire shop because, that's about the only guy you're going to get willing to take the job. But if you get a long enough contract and, and you say, look, I'll come, but you're going to have to, I'm going to have to be here long enough to see this thing through.
As Flavor Flav once said, they got to pay me, boy.
I mean, there's that. You know what? as a thought here, what about a guy who is a lifetime minor league guy, who will understand how to maneuver those young guys?
I think under normal circumstances, that would be something that would make sense
In a market that's not New York.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I don't think a career minor league manager goes over very well in New York. I don't think that's something that goes well on the back cover, as they like to say. I just think that they feel like they should be able. You know how we talk about certain Power 5 football programs that feel like they should be able to hire an established head coach. Well, I think it's the same thing with the Mets. Never mind that potentially the best manager in that division is a guy who had never managed before and was hired mid-season, and that's Rob Thompson at Philadelphia. So it'll be interesting to watch that Mets situation play out. But like you said, also the Padres and also the Rangers. Not the Rangers. I'm sorry, the Astros. I mean, again, if Dusty is gone, they shouldn't have much trouble filling that, should they?
No, I mean, 7 straight trips to the ALCS is pretty hard to turn down.
I mean, there's a little pressure there, I guess, but I'd rather have that pressure than trying to get over 500.
Yeah.
So
Brandon Pfaadt will start Game 7 tonight for the D-backs, which, by the way, have in their style guide, there is a specific way. It is
pronunciation.
It is D, capital D, little backs.
Capital no apostrophe?
No apostrophe, no hyphen, no nothing. Capital D, little backs. That is their style guide.
That's interesting.
Don't know why it took us 25 years to get that.
Well, we've been learning all sorts of things today.
We have.
Speaking of learning things, fun fact, this will be the first Game 7 in Philadelphia Phillies history.
I was going to say it's just a fact until someone else decides it's fun, but it is fun.
No, it's a pretty fun fact.
Fun fact.
And
Game 7, never. How about the Phillies fans just dipping last night?
I hope they dip
Best
tonight.
fans in baseball.
I hope they dip tonight.
And the best postseason atmosphere ever. Yeah, as they're walking out the door, great postseason atmosphere, folks.
I hope they dip tonight.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a break.
We probably should, because our next guest is waiting.
He's over here
patiently, I hope.
Well, he was retweeting us at least for a second.
Okay.
So we'll take retweets all day long.
No doubt.
But Josh Peterson of Thunder Radio will join us here in just a moment. So stick around. Main Street Sports Today is presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. We'll come back to the Mobile League Company studio right after this. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Custom Stone Handler supplies over 600 distributors and suppliers with quality stone products. Along with River Stone, we produce and distribute over 100 building, landscape, and other bulk products. Our goal is to provide quality products, service, and partnerships to ensure our customers' success. We firmly believe that the measure of any person or company is how they treat other people and customers. Give them a call at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com. Mockingbird Title and Escrow is an attorney-owned and operated full-service title company in Middle Tennessee.
We get your deals closed without worry and fuss. We're a family business that offers the highest level of expertise in our industry when it comes to closing and funding your real estate transactions.
And it's a job I really love. I'm passionate about this. I'm enthusiastic about this. I like to think we're pretty well rounded and can deal with a wide range of needs and a wide range of clients.
Call 615-274-8698 today.
With Lee Company technology, the best handymen are hands-off. Lee Company techs have been using visual findings and other smart technology tools for years to add transparency and virtually take customers along. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on a roof. With Lee Company, technology helps us help you, no matter what's happening in the world or at your house.
Piggly Wiggly, located in Neely's Mill Shopping Center, is Columbia's locally owned and operated Cost Plus 10 grocery store dedicated to serving the community with low prices and smiling faces. Piggly Wiggly offers fresh, hand-cut meats daily as well as daily hot plate lunches from their deli counter. You're certain to see smiling faces and a helping hand when you're here at Piggly Wiggly. Come by and check out our fresh produce, high-quality meats, and more. Down home, down the street, we'll see you at the Pig.
Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Murray County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic service, and our Ortho Quick Walk-In Clinic lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net.
Welcome back in Main Street Sports today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint. Chris Yow and Maurice Patton here live from the Willowbrook Golf Course in Manchester. And Bosley?
Boskies.
Boskies. That's
Boskies
right.
with a K.
Or Bosley if you're looking for a hair product. And if you're like me and you have a bald spot, feel free to call Bosley. Boskies.
Boskies.
So it's a great little, great sweet tea, if nothing else.
Oh, well.
But that hamburger was really good.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that was solid. It's been a solid day and will continue to be solid as we are now joined by Thunder Radio's Josh Peterson, who is pretty instrumental in putting this on, apparently. Josh, one, thanks for joining us. And two, this is something that you all previously did as District 8 AAA, I guess.
Yeah, Maurice, thank you for having me. I appreciate you letting me have a little bit of time with you. Thunder Radio did help start organize this. I think at the end of District 8 AAA, that wasn't going to be me. That's going to be Dennis Weaver who was doing that then.
The late Dennis
Weaver, one of the greats, and we strive every day to continue to try to bring sports coverage to what he would think is an acceptable level. Not good, but acceptable. And so just as best we can. But then we did it with District 6 4A for a couple of years, and then we continue it. And a couple of years ago, WCDT out of Franklin County hosted, and we traveled, and we were glad. And the idea was to travel it around through the different towns, but the TSSAA likes to shake the districts up so much we can't do that.
So basically, wherever Coffee County is
it's hosting media day. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
but we love it. We have a good time with it.
And so this year, with this being the first year of reclassification, Columbia Central and Spring Hill are in District 9 4A, along with, again, Coffee County, Lincoln County, Shelbyville, Warren County. So that's how we wind up here. And you had pretty good turnout. I think 11 of the 12 teams, boys and girls, were represented.
Yes. Yeah, I think pretty much everybody was here. Like you said, 11 of the 12. And that's kind of what we expected. It takes a little bit of time to get the word out and get the media here. Because I feel like I think it's a great thing for high school athletics, to be able to put on events like this. We did it for football before. We did not do it this year. This has been more consistent with basketball actually than football. Basketball in Coffee County has become such a big thing the past 5, 6, 7 years, really. For a long time. You go back to the 90s when the girls won a state championship. It's been big since then. But Joe Pat Cope has done such an excellent job with the girls program and just keeps so much energy and focus on it that you can't help but kind of jump on board and want to be a part of that. And, we're about highlighting student athletes here in Coffee County. And if we can help the surrounding counties and communities too. That's great.
I think, like you said, I think it's a great event to highlight high school sports, high school athletes. And so kudos to those programs, those institutions that sent their coaches and kids down for it. One of the things that you did during the Media Day festivities was compile a preseason poll, one by the coaches, one by the media. And were you surprised at how similar these were?
No, not too much. I didn't really know what to expect, and we didn't hear from Spring Hill's boys. So, and so these preseason polls, you know, in anything, whether it all the way up to the NBA or NFL or SEC football,
Throwing darts,
it doesn't matter. You just don't know. You have a pretty good idea about some teams, but there's a lot of unknowns in this district. I like it. Columbia is going to be an excellent addition. Having them back on, you know, we Coffee County kind of got lucky missing out on them in the past couple of years. They've gotten better on the girls' side,
right.
And the boys' side, I'm sure, will follow. I don't know a lot about Spring Hill, but yeah, I'm a little surprised that they're that similar, but not too much. You know, the coaches and media, they talk, they mingle, they kind of think, I think, along the same lines. I think on the boys' side, there were some differences.
The boys was a little bit more different than the girls between the media's poll and the coaches poll. On the girls' side, Coffee County appears to be the clear-cut number one, and I guess coming off a 30-3 record, and Lipscomb commit Olivia Vinson, who will be rejoining her sister.
Her sister, yeah,
Bella.
She would rejoin her, but Bella will be gone.
Well, Bella, I didn't realize there was that much.
Olivia is just going to be a junior. She's not a senior. She committed already. She's not going to sign until next year.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's surprising.
So did they never play together in high school?
They never played together. No, sir. No, I would have loved to have watched that. I'm sure a lot of people would have.
I'm sure a lot of people would not have.
Well, maybe, yeah.
Far more would not have choice to see it.
Yeah. But yeah, Bella will be a junior this year at Lipscomb. Olivia is a junior this year at Coffee County. So they won't play together, but she is following her, and Coffee County is going to be, they're going to be very good. Again, it's a tougher district. Lincoln County plays Coffee County tight no matter what year it is.
I'm sure.
Yes, but Bella had to hit a game winner against them her junior year, at home. They've always played them tight. Columbia is a tough trip. It's going to be tougher than I think people realize, but Coffee County's made, I don't say a living, but it's been a past few years where they win 28, 30, 32 ball games and they can't get past the region semifinal. I think they don't care so much about those 30 wins. I think they care much about that last one. They want to keep going.
We can relate to that. I actually think all three of us sitting here are Braves fans. So
we are.
So we can relate to.
I heard y'all talking managers earlier.
The regular season not mattering. Yeah. Lincoln County number 2, both media and coaches on the girls' side. Chad Tips and the Lady Falcons had a nice season in 3A last year, moving up this time around. Columbia Central's girls picked 3rd by both the coaches and the media. Warren County's girls, the number 4 team, Shelbyville 5 and Spring Hill 6 in both. On the boys' side, this is where it gets kind of crazy, because we heard from former Columbia Central assistant and first-year coach Brandon
Levier.
That
you apparently pulled out of him because we didn't
know.
We've been calling him Brandon Levier
like everyone else because that's what everyone called it.
So thank you for asking.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
The Lions picked number 1 among coaches after going 7-21.
I'm a little surprised by that. Yes, I saw that too. And, coaches tend to know a little more. They've seen them over the summer. They know the kind of athletes they have. And I think Warren County Coach Fish was talking about seeing some of those guys playing with his son.
Marathon.
Yeah, AAU has kind of made the world a smaller place. They know each other. So I would say the coaches may know a little something more than us simple media folks.
It wouldn't take much. But again, Columbia picked number 1 among coaches, followed by Coffee County and Warren County. Now, in the media's poll, Warren County is 1, Coffee County is 2, Columbia is 3. So
it mixes it up a little bit up there amongst those three. But it's those three in the top. I'm not surprised by that. Warren County has a lot back, and Coffee County's got not a lot back. But they got 2 really key pieces back. So I'm curious to see how they mesh.
The bottom half, Shelbyville, Spring Hill, and Lincoln County, but Lincoln County, well, they all 3 tied in the coaches poll.
It was a tie, yes.
And it's Shelbyville, Spring Hill, and Lincoln County in that order in the media poll. Oh, Spring Hill and Lincoln County tied. So,
I didn't have a good tiebreaker for that. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. But I say all that to say this: it's going to be a pretty competitive district. It feels like.
I feel like that too. It's going to be a lot of fun. I got into where basketball is probably one of my favorite ones to cover. We enjoy it. On the girls' side, we were talking about it. I think 3 teams won a district championship last year: Coffee County, Lincoln County, and Columbia, and then Warren County tied for first in the regular season in District 6. So really got 3/4 district championship level teams in that girls' side from last year,
right?
Combining these districts the way they did. So that's going to be very competitive.
And as you pointed out during the media day festivity last year at District 6. Are we good?
Yeah.
District 6-4A was a 4-team district.
Yes.
So everybody advanced to the region. It's a 6-team district this time around. So somebody's going to get left home.
They are. And I didn't know how they were going to shake it out. And they kind of let it out. I guess the top 2 teams in the regular season will get an automatic bid.
Mm-hmm. And then 3 will play 6 and 4 will play 5.
I like that.
Yeah.
Because that gives some level of importance to the regular season, but it doesn't. It still gives, you can still play your way in the tournament.
Yeah.
So I do like that. I think it's going to be a great year. A lot of good basketball to be played, and I feel like it's going to be one of those years, especially on the boys' side. When you look at you're playing 10 district games, 6 and 4 may win it. I don't know that it's going to be a 9-1 kind of year.
Mm-hmm. Do we know where the district tournament is?
Coffee County,
right here.
Enjoy your trip. We'll get you some hotel rates. We'll get some discounts.
Don't say it if you don't mean it. Yeah.
I am 90% sure it's at Coffee County. I was told that, and I don't know why I'm thinking that, but I'm pretty sure it's.
Well, then you may be the District 9-4A beat writer that weekend.
That's perfectly fine.
This is where reclassification works out well for us, Maurice, because we start off in alphabetical order. In Coffee County, we'll get the district tournament, and then in 2 years they'll reclassify and we'll get it again.
There you go. I like it. There's method to your madness. Yeah.
I don't pick.
Yeah. Josh Peterson of Thunder Radio joining us here on Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid Tennessee Bone and Joint.
Yeah, Josh, we were talking about how crazy it is that high school basketball season is around the corner, and that's what we, obviously that's why we're here today. But it's always this time of year in football season where you start, with if-then statements and playoff scenarios and whatnot. And Coffee County had a great year last year and has struggled a little bit more this year. Tell us a little bit about what's going on in the football side of things right now.
I don't know if we have enough time. It's been a rough year for those guys, and I hate it. It's a really good senior class. It's a small senior class. I think there's only 10 of them, but they were a big part of the success they had last year. They won 9 games last year, got into the playoffs really right there against Blackman there in the second round. Just lost by 35-31, I think, in the second round. This year, it just, things fell apart very early on. When you have a coaching change 2-3 weeks into the season, that's not ideal for anybody. I think the surprise for me, at least, and I think a lot of people here, what hurts, sometimes you can see it coming. Okay, it's going to be a rough year. This is going to be a good year. I don't think anybody saw this coming. I looked at Coffee County in the offseason and said I thought they were a 5 or a 6 win team. And I'm glad I didn't bet any money on that. That's not how that's worked out. And they're great kids. The quarterback got hurt early. Cole Pippinger had shoulder surgeries, and Mississippi State commit in baseball, and I think he's going to focus a lot on his baseball career. And offensive line injuries really dinged them up. And then when that happened, they had a system set up around a lot of zone read, a lot of outside zone, and all of a sudden they don't have a quarterback that can run that, and they completely transitioned their offense in season to a power I kind of team, and it's just taken a lot of time. And they've actually gotten a little better at it, but you're doing that in season and you're doing that in the SEC of high school football. in that Murfreesboro region.
And that's what I was going to say is you guys have played in probably the toughest region in the highest classification. And so you've seen all of these teams, the Oaklands, the Riverdales. You even saw, you saw Tullahoma early in the year and Page. You've seen a lot of really strong football teams. What's your read on this region outside of Oakland? And, because Maryville just beat Alcoa.
I saw that.
By the way. Talk about salvaging a season. That's one way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But, you could potentially see these teams matching up in the third round because this is like you said, the SEC of high school football.
Oakland is very good. I don't know that it's the best that we've seen out of them. They're good, but from watching them play, it's hard to tell. I don't, Coffee County was up there a couple of weeks ago. I feel like they were tinkering with things when we were there. I don't know if we were getting their full boat of stuff. Very, very physical up front. I don't know if their secondary is all as good as they've been before. I would be surprised to see them be exposed there a little bit. Coffee County was actually able to have a little success through the air. So I think there's some weak points, but really 6A doesn't really seem like there is anybody there to fill that void. I think that's still Oakland's to lose.
Man, Oakland, Bradley Central looks really good.
Bradley Central does look good.
So that semifinal should be interesting. I don't know, man. I'm excited about football season, but again,
I would be careful assuming that that's open. Bradley Central.
I would too.
I
think
with
it's
Maryville
kinda
just
wide
having
open.
beaten Alcoa last week.
I think it's as wide open as it's ever been on that side.
It is.
Of that bracket.
And that quarterfinal bracket. Yeah.
So I think it's going to be really interesting to watch and see. But hopefully, if you're looking for the best matchup, hopefully it's Bradley Central. But anyway, football season is obviously what we're all thinking about. But man, you get a bunch of basketball players into a building like this and start talking about hoops, and you hear the names of the players. It just kind of gets me excited.
Sure,
because you can hear it, you can smell the popcorn, you can hear the squeals of the gym floor, you can hear the bouncing of the balls and the rim shaking. This is going to be a good season.
And one of the things that you hit on, Josh, during your moderation of Media Day, the number of multi-sport athletes was really impressive. Again, I've always been fascinated by that, and
I loved hearing his natural reaction to
Columbia Central's girls in particular. Columbia Central's girls feature Kiana Edwards, who in her second year of rugby has been named to a national team that will compete in New Zealand here in a couple of months. And
she wasn't even going to tell me.
Nobody.
Her coach had.
She wasn't going to. I play rugby.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
For Team USA.
She was the state MVP, right? She was the MVP of the state championship game, and scored like 47 bazillion points in the season.
And then the point guard, Savia Morgan, is signing 2 weeks from tomorrow with the University of Tennessee for softball.
I know. That's what I was telling my wife earlier. I said, she's not just going to sign to some random place. She's going to go sign to national power.
Yeah, she's number 10 ranked prospect in the country.
In her class.
I can't wait to see her play softball in the spring.
Yeah.
Get to see that as well.
They kind of snuck those in on you, huh? You're going to have to start getting bios in advance.
Yes. Well, that's what's interesting about these media days. Like a lot of Coffee County's athletes, I obviously know them. I'm around them. We have a coaches show every Saturday. I know them pretty intimately. I don't know these other kids as well. I know some of them because we've seen them year over year, but it's fun to get to know them, and you show up to the gym to broadcast at their place, and they know you and you know them, and you got a little bit of friendliness there to it. And obviously, we're kind of a hometown station, and we're homers in our broadcast, but we wish them well, and we like to see them compete.
And like you said, you get a little nugget for that broadcast.
Sure, absolutely. It's great when you can sit there and talk about how she's going to be or just got done playing, in the national.
In New Zealand.
Yeah. World traveler. Kiana.
Yeah, she'll be getting a passport here pretty soon, I
hope
presume.
She doesn't go to the Columbia post office to get it.
Oh, I'm going to leave that one alone. Josh Peterson, Thunder Radio. Josh, tell people how they can find you and what all you have going on.
Absolutely. There's, of course, a bunch of different ways. If you're in our general terrestrial area, we've got a few different ways, 1320 AM, 107.9 FM. But, in today's world, you got to get out further than that. Thunder1320.com is the easiest way. You can listen to us live. You can see our coverage. We treat that as much as we can. We're not just radio. We try to write stories. We cover the sports teams. All of our podcasts are there for most of our shows. So that's a great way to find us. We're hyper local, but we do have some other things there. We're a Braves affiliate. We're a Predators affiliate, so we carry them and some of their news as well. And a Titans affiliate.
Sunday should be interesting.
It should be. See who's left.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll see who trots out there.
Well, my sponsors already agreed, so they're
there you go. Like it or not,
yeah.
they're still in.
You signed up.
Signed for a year.
Yes.
Josh, we appreciate it, man. Thanks for taking time with us, and thanks for putting this on. It's been a fantastic event.
Thank y'all for having me. I appreciate it so much.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, college football. We didn't finish our discussions from yesterday, so we've got 5 or 6 topics we haven't gotten to broach yet. So let's do it.
Let's do.
Right here on Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid Tennessee Bone and Joint. We're back to the Lee Company studio after this.
Mid Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net.
With Lee Company technology, the best handymen are hands-off. Lee Company techs have been using visual findings and other smart technology tools for years to add transparency and virtually take customers along. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on a roof. With Lee Company, technology helps us help you, no matter what's happening in the world or at your house.
Jones & Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50 plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, zioneagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's zioneagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today. Mockingbird Title and Escrow is an attorney-owned and operated full-service title company in Middle Tennessee. We get your deals closed without worry and fuss. We're a family business that offers the highest level of expertise in our industry when it comes to closing and funding your real estate transactions.
And it's a job I really love. I'm passionate about this. I'm enthusiastic about this. I like to think we're pretty well rounded and can deal with a wide range of needs and a wide range of clients.
Call 615-274-8698 today.
Mid Tennessee Bone and Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Murray County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic service, and our Ortho Quick Walk-In Clinic lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net.
Welcome back in Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid Tennessee Bone and Joint. Chris Yow, again, Maurice Patton, as most times, not always, but
most times.
Most times he's here.
Almost.
Most times I'm here.
Almost always,
Yeah.
we're both here.
Almost always. When
Yeah.
we're not.
Except when we're not.
Yeah, we're doing whatever we can to make it work, and that's what we do. Nice putt there by the gentleman on 18. See if his buddy can match him here. Oh, we got to take the flag out for this one. This one's from about 6 foot, and he misses left. That's unfortunate.
That is unfortunate.
Yeah, he thought it
Drive
was
for show, putt for dough, and he
thought it
got
was
none.
He thought it was a gimme, and he was going to go over there and tap it in, but his buddy in the red hat here.
No,
misses.
he comes up short too.
Ah. Both of them tap it in for the gimme.
Tap, tap, tap it. Just tap it.
Well,
in.
guys, that was a good one.
I guess we know who won, huh?
Yeah, the guy who putted.
Right.
Let's talk a little college football. We got a few minutes here as we dive into some of the topics that we didn't get to yesterday.
Felt like there were a few.
There were at least 3.
Hmm?
And we'll start with Michigan, the staffer, which was
Connor's.
Stallion.
Is it with one L? Well, it's one L,
Yeah,
so that
so
kind of threw me off a little
I have
bit.
no
but
idea.
yeah, that's Stallions minus an L. I don't know how you pronounce it. It's sort of like Levier.
There you go. Well, I guess the other L is the one he gave to Michigan when he decided to buy tickets.
It was Stallions, but he gave Michigan that extra L. Yeah.
He's about to give them plenty. I got a feeling, because here, first of all, I would like to say that I am not against sign stealing. As a general rule, I'm not against it. I think it's part of the game.
I think it's absolutely part of the game. And if you are stupid enough to be so simplistic in your sign giving that I can pick up on them,
well, I mean, not necessarily pick up on them, because he was going to games and he was studying these signs. Okay, so I can understand. I'm not necessarily against sign stealing as a general rule.
concept.
That being said, and yes, opponents should have changed their signs or whatever. Maybe they should have. I don't know. This is my one take on this. It's against the rules, okay? Which means that coaches should have at least some level of expectation, some level of reasonable expectation that
their signs are not being
stolen. And so
because it's illegal.
That, maybe you do change your wristband for Rutgers, but maybe you only have 3 wristbands. And so game 1, 2, and 3 have different wristbands, but game 4, 5, and 6 have the same wristbands from 1, 2, and 3, just in a different order or whatever. I don't know. I'm just saying that it's against the rules. I should be able to reasonably expect that my signs have not been stolen by someone who has scouted me in person elsewhere. Now, you do it during the game. You figure it out during the game. That's by all means, that is inside the rules, and you go for it, kid. But I don't know if you've seen this video of Stallion or Stallion or whatever, Mr. Staffer, standing next to Jim Harbaugh on Ohio State's first drive last year. They look to Ohio State looks to the sideline to get the signal, and Stallion is standing next to Harbaugh, gives him the play, and they make a change on defense. Like they start signaling their defense.
Oh, wow.
So that's pretty bad.
So plausible deniability kind of goes out the window for Michigan on this one then, right? It's not like they didn't know.
I don't think so. I think it's done. And this is from Adam King of CBS 10 in probably Columbus. But yes, it is. Go figure.
Quite likely.
but it's bad.
It's not out of East Lansing or Ann Arbor, excuse me. Yeah.
No, they're definitely not reporting this. But anyway, I'm not against sign stealing as a general premise. I want people to understand that, but I do think that if it is against the rules and I have a general expectation or reasonable expectation of privacy, like just kind of a legal term, then I should not. Then if someone breaks that rule, they should be punished for it some way. Wonder if that's why TCU was able to score against Michigan as easily as they were, because They did not scout them in person.
And
ahead
did
of
not
time.
get their signs.
Just saying.
Not saying.
Michigan.
Just saying.
Michigan beats Ohio State 2 years in a row.
Well, I mean, this is the revelation that kind of calls into question everything that Michigan's done here of late.
Because they went from being underachieving mediocre under Harbaugh
to
conference
national championship caliber.
Yes. And it ain't because he's sleeping over at recruits' houses.
It's not because he's taking them to lunch either.
And it ain't because he's taking them to lunch.
That's interesting. And it's unfortunate.
It is, because this is going to completely undermine any level of
any success that they have. Oh, well,
have.
did they steal those folks' signs?
I think they did.
Or in a game, they must not have had their signs. And it taints everything they do. Either way.
But and this is not just Ohio State. I mean, this is Rutgers. Great. Schiano clearly knew something
at halftime of that game. Yeah,
clearly. So Oklahoma and Texas both struggle. Was it just one of those weeks in the Big 12? Because both of them struggle against newcomers. Texas had to get not only a stop late, but some help to get that stop. And I'm just saying it's a little bit of help.
I think for whatever reason, a lot of the halves seem to have come back to the pack this year. I mean, we've talked about folks struggling all year that you coming into the year didn't necessarily expect to struggle.
The parity in college football is there.
And so I don't know that it was a 1 week thing. I mean, some of the games, who was it I was watching late Saturday night?
Arizona State
and Washington. Yeah.
Pac-12 after dark, man. I told you.
You sure did. You sure did. Yeah. And that's kind of what I was sitting there stewing about between dozing. It's like, you know what? I'm just going to go to sleep on this. And what was it 15-7 the final?
Yeah, it was tough to watch.
But I mean, people are coming back to the pack. I mean, I don't know how else you explain it. It's just, and it's happening week after week after week.
Yep. And that's the thing. And then you look at the ACC, because it was almost a very bad, no good weekend for them. If Duke had beaten Florida State,
well, and if Riley Leonard doesn't
doesn't
re-aggravate that ankle injury, they right there.
Yeah. And so, Virginia beats previously unbeaten North Carolina, which we mentioned yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Clemson falls to Miami, which we said all season could happen. But they did it without their quarterback. Van Dyke was out.
Right.
He's he's going to be back this week, but I mean, and then Florida State survived. But it just seems like, and of course, Utah, USC, we talked a little bit about, Caleb Williams yesterday. This is such a 2007 vibes season.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have 2-loss LSU win the national title.
That was a crazy year.
I mean, if James Madison is the only undefeated team in the country at the end of this thing, how wild will that be? Because that's what it feels like we're headed to. It feels like even Georgia's going to slip up somewhere. Obviously, Michigan may be forfeiting all their wins. Who knows?
Where is Georgia going to slip up? Because it ain't going to be in Knoxville.
I don't agree with that. I think Tennessee is a different football team in Knoxville, and I think their defense is too good. And if Brock Bowers ain't playing, I don't know that Georgia will score more than 14 points. I'm not sure they will score 14 points. That being said, could be Knoxville. It could be the SEC championship game. It could be in Jacksonville against Florida. I'm telling you, Florida is a little bit better than we give them credit for, and it's their Super Bowl. So I just feel like everybody is going to lose somewhere. And then we're going to be in the biggest
Everybody
mail of a
except-
hess.
Everybody except JMU, huh? Yeah.
We're going to be in a bad situation
So Georgia plays Florida in Jacksonville this weekend. At home against Missouri.
See, if that was in Missouri, I'd tell you that would be a.
Well, we saw what happened last year in Missouri.
That's what I'm saying. If it was at Missouri, and Missouri's much better than they were last year.
Yeah. At home against Ole Miss.
I think that's a game they could lose. As good as Ole Miss's offense is, they can outscore them.
At Tennessee. And then at Georgia Tech.
There are 3 games in a row that they could potentially lose.
Well, 4, I guess. Each of these next 4, conceivably.
I'm telling you, just because of the parity in college, it's not because Georgia is not any good. I'm just saying that the way that this college football season has gone, the way that everything is just, you never know what's going to happen week in, week out.
Certainly.
Watch out. It's been a fun year, and it's only getting better.
Yeah.
Now that the cream is rising,
but not very high.
But it's kind of.
It's not separating.
Right. It's rising, but it's not quite all the way to the top. So this is going to be a fantastic finish to the college football season. We're going to take a quick break. Terry McCormick is standing by, and we have your Daily Titans report coming up in just a moment. But boy, can't wait to ask Terry about this press conference. It was apparently a doozy. Stick around. Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bar and Joint. Back after this.
It's the biggest racing show of the year, Friday through Sunday, November 3rd through 5th at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. 6 fast-paced divisions of racing on the quarter-mile Friday night, pole qualifying and 3 big feature events Saturday night, and the Curb Records Big Machine Vodka Spike Coolers All-American 400 on Sunday afternoon. Racing starts at 6:30 Friday, 5 o'clock Saturday, and 1 o'clock Sunday. Tickets available at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway.racing or at the gate on race day. It's the 39th All-American 400 weekend, Friday through Sunday, November 3rd through 5th. Get your tickets now.
He shoots and he scores!
Since 1975, Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint Clinic has treated the orthopedic needs of Middle Tennessee residents. The trained physicians provide surgical options and minimally invasive options to treat all orthopedic needs. The walk-in clinic, OrthoQuick, helps you bypass the ER while treating sports injuries and acute needs Monday through Saturday. Visit MTBJ online at mtbj.net or on social media at Mid-Tennessee Bone Joint Clinic.
We're back in. Time now for your Daily Titans report. Powered by Zen Sports. Terry, what's up?
Well, guys, it is your Daily Titans report, and it's powered by Zen Sports, which is changing the bonus game for the better. And I bet you guys can't guess what the first topic of conversation was at Vrabel's press conference today.
I can guess what the topic of conversation was, and apparently the response from said questions was a little hostile.
Terry, was Mike in a particularly chippy mood today?
Started off kind of that way. I think he was, very disappointed at the reality of dealing Kevin Byard away. But the mood lightened up a little bit toward the end of it. But it just felt like that there was just kind of a depressed mood around everybody there that spoke today. It was Vrabel, followed by Derrick Henry, followed by Monty Hooker. And Hooker had the most telling comment of all, probably, when I asked him what the vibe was around the locker room in the aftermath. And he's just said, initially it's not good, but they know that they've got to go back to work and get ready to play the Atlanta Falcons because, quite frankly, they don't. What other choice do they have? So interesting that I'm sure the players that they know it's a business. They said as such. Vrabel said as such, but this is the side of football that the fans don't like, the players don't like, and in this instance, it sounds like even the coaches don't like. But it's reality when you're talking about where this team is and what it needs to do to try and get better. And sometimes you have to subtract in order to add, and not that they can replace Kevin Byard with any one player and have them play up to the level of play. But when you have a tradable asset and you're in need of a rebuild, I think that's why they went down this path.
Terry, I mean, when you're in that locker room in particular, I mean, Kevin Byard has dressed next to you, has dressed amongst you for 7 years, and all of a sudden that guy's gone, and you're expected to just, remain calm all as well, when the reality is everybody that's in that locker room is wondering if they're the next guy.
Sure, absolutely. I mean, certain guys have to be wondering that. If you're in the last year of your contract and you're on the wrong side of 30, you've got to be wondering that, especially. But, the situation kind of is what it is for the Titans, because you can't sit there and worry about it if you're Derrick Henry or Ryan Tannehill or Danico Autry. You just have to continue playing. And then if they tell, like what Derrick Henry said today, he said, until they tell me something different, I'm here and preparing my focus on the Falcons and trying to win a football game. So kind of that situation for the Titans. It certainly doesn't look pleasant, shall we say. And then it's probably going to be made a little bit more unpleasant by the fact that Ryan Tannehill is very unlikely to play in this game. And it's going to mean, according to Vrabel, that both Malik Willis and Will Levis could play Sunday against the Falcons. Think about that for a second. What's the old saying in sports? When you have two quarterbacks,
you got none. You got none.
So,
but it makes sense, though, really, Terry, that he would say that both those guys could play, just for the standpoint that they're the only two options. And whoever the number, again, I think I said this last week, whoever the number one is, the other one is the number two. And
no doubt.
So,
no doubt. And one of the things that you kind of have to look at it like this is simply for the fact that with both these quarterbacks, you got one with a little bit of experience, you've got one with zero experience. So I think it's very possible that they could have a set of plays for one guy and a set of plays for the other. I don't think they'll alternate like a preseason game where one of them would play one half and one play the other. But I think if you're going to see both of them, then maybe you have some tricks up your sleeve to go along with it.
Man,
it's going to be interesting.
Sunday is going to be listen. You know what's going to happen Sunday, right?
They're going to beat Atlanta.
They're going to roll
with two quarterbacks, with Derrick Henry running some wildcat, a little bit of everything. They're going to empty the bag, and they're going to beat the Falcons.
Arthur Smith's going to be so dumbfounded on Monday morning that it's just because that's exactly what this Titans.
That's what this team does.
Oh,
when you least expect them to win is when they win.
Let me throw you back to a game a few years ago, and I think Vrabel was the coach then. Do you remember when, I think it was in 2018, Marcus Mariota was injured and was not able to play early in the season against the Houston Texans? Blaine Gabbert got the start, and they obviously didn't feel comfortable with giving Blaine Gabbert a big, thick playbook and say, go execute this. So what they did, they had a fake punt for a touchdown. I think that was actually the very first time we saw the Wildcat with Derrick Henry. So it wouldn't shock me if they pull out all the stops like that again on Sunday.
Terry, tell us about Zen Sports.
Gladly. Zen Sports is the new sports book in Tennessee, and it's revolutionizing the way you earn sports betting rewards. With Zen Sports, your rewards are cash rewards. You bet with real money, and now you're rewarded with it too. Earn a whopping 5% cashback welcome bonus for your first 15 days when you sign up with code Main Street. That's MAINST. Keep betting and keep earning every month after that with up to 3% cashback rewards on your betting volume. Best of all, you can earn cash commission on your referral bets with the Zen Sports Referral Rewards Program. Zen Sports, betting just got better. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-889-9789. Terms and conditions apply. Must be 21 and older and in Tennessee to bet.
Smiles. These are the healthy smiles of real Delta Dental members. Folks with access to the nation's largest network of dentists and low-deductible plans with 100% preventive care coverage, all backed by over 65 years of expertise. Go online or give us a call to learn about affordable individual plans that meet your needs. 1-855-844-0445.
Welcome back in Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Chris Yalamo Patton here as we look at this mountain of chips. And about 6 burgers left. Mo, are you still hungry?
I'm not hungry at this moment.
There's some cookies over there, Joe. I'll have to go grab a cookie.
I may be hungry by 4 o'clock.
Yeah, I mean, we may need to grab a plate and just stash it away for our trip home. Because it's a long enough trip. We're gonna need a snack.
I don't think it's going anywhere between now and 4.
I don't think so either.
So, here's a question though.
What's up?
I wonder what our next guest has been eating.
I bet it's been delicious seafood.
Oh man, disgustingly delicious. Yeah.
Chip Walters joins us on location from Parts Unknown.
Correct. That's correct.
Parts unknown, but whatever parts they are, I bet there's
a beach.
I bet there's some sand involved. Yeah,
there is sand and some water and a little trip over to see the Blue Angels this morning. So
a little trip over. Okay, so that gives us a pretty good idea. Yeah,
and, yeah. Today's their next to last practice at their home base at Naval Air Station, Pensacola. The final one is tomorrow, so I lucked out when I was down here that that was going on.
Their next to last practice.
Yeah,
before
the end of their season. So
so they don't do this year round.
No, they kind of have an off season because, matter of fact, they were introducing at the end of the show today. They were introducing each of the pilots and we're telling, which ones were going to be coming back and which ones were going to be rolling off. And I think out of the 7, they're going to have 3 or 4 new ones next year. So it is always a group that is, it is a fluid situation is what it is. So
we've been saying that for so long.
Wow. What's not expected.
And we're all day to day, right? There's the other one. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. As if that wasn't proven to us yesterday. Chip, how long have you been out of Murfreesboro?
Well, if she proves you wrong right at this moment.
A few days. So,
sorry.
Wow. And you took the second camera down.
I did.
We need the second camera right about now. So, Chip, you may or may not know, you may have not seen, we are live from Bosky's Grill at Willowbrook Golf Club in Manchester.
Okay. I have been there. I've been exactly where you are, out on the patio.
And
we had a Blue Raider Blitz stop there.
Okay, all right.
Coffee Countyans.
So Chris was just mentioning the mountain of potato chips and the burgers that were left, and we were contemplating maybe grabbing a care package as we left at the end of the show. And I said, I don't think it'll be a problem. Well,
It's become a problem.
Chips will be a problem.
At least, and
buns will be a problem, and I imagine burgers will be a problem here in the next.
Well, those cookies are still over there, so I'm fixing to just go grab 2 or 3. I'm just saying.
You're just gonna step
I'm
off.
just gonna step out.
If you step out, we know where you're going, Chris. So
exactly.
Exactly.
At any rate, what I was going to ask you was, has there been an Alicia Clark sighting on campus in the last couple of days?
That I don't know that. The last thing I saw from Alicia was I think they had a parade.
They did have a parade yesterday, yeah.
And I did see video of her at the parade. So I don't think she's back in the mid-state area just yet, but I would assume that she probably will be, and would not be surprised to see her darken the door of the glass house for, could be this Friday, could be next Monday for Lady Raider exhibitions, or the home opener for both the men and women coming up on November 6th.
Cool. Okay. All right. So
she brought the chips back. I don't know what that means.
I don't know.
Maybe we're going to get some.
I don't know if those are the chips. I think those are chips. Yeah.
We could take some of those off your hands too if you would like.
Chip, MTSU football does not play until November 4th. Is that right?
That's correct. Out at New Mexico State, and that's which I watched them play. They're back on TV tonight. I saw them play last week against UTEP, and it's pretty impressive what Jerry Kill has done with them. But it's an opportunity. Middle coming off. Just a really good performance at Liberty, and just could not win the shootout against the league leader right now. But you hope they go into the bi quadrennial or whatever you want to call this 18 days with a chance to rest up, a chance to get healed up a little bit, because during the first half of that game, Middle was without 3 starting defensive linemen. Because Quindarius Dunnigan was out due to a targeting call the previous week, and Zaylen Wood was out, and you had one more out. So
wait a minute. Stop.
Yeah.
You had an offensive lineman tossed for targeting?
No, Quindarius Dunnigan he's a defensive end.
Okay, my fault.
And he got tossed the previous week in the second half in a tough call. But Middle got off to a great start, got an interception on the first play, and then it was back and forth between the two, and Middle actually got to 35 before Liberty did. And at that point, Liberty made a couple of stops and were able to get back-to-back scores and take the lead at that point. And it was kind of one of those, whoever had the ball last was gonna win that one, and Liberty was able to get the lead and then get the ball and basically run the clock out. But this team has a lot of fight, and right now at 2-6, they know what's ahead of them, and you've got 4 games left, and you got 4 games you need to win, 2 on the road, 2 at home, and all are winnable. So and to be honest, the toughest one may be the next one at New Mexico State, because they've done pretty well. They've beaten their Jerry Kill got a bonus for beating their 2 biggest rivals this year on the road. They won at UTEP last week, and earlier in the year they won at New Mexico. So he's really turned them around and has them going in a good direction. They've got really an elusive running quarterback that has a lot of talent. So they're Middles will get back at it. They've kind of had sporadic practices this week to try to gain a little extra rest, but by this coming Sunday they'll get back at it in their regular routine, and will play 4 Saturday games for the rest of the year. But this week is the final week of the midweek, and you've got New Mexico State at Louisiana Tech tonight. Also Liberty at Western Kentucky. That's going to be interesting. That's at 6:30 on ESPNU. And then tomorrow,
almost guaranteed Conference USA championship game spot.
Pretty much.
Almost guaranteed.
Pretty much. And then tomorrow night, you've got Jack State on the road at FIU and UTEP on the road at Sam Houston in an all-Texas matchup. And that will round out the midweek. And then nobody will play again until November 4th.
So tomorrow night wraps up #Weekday USA then.
Weekday USA.
I'm sorry. See USA. Yes.
Yeah.
So with that said, Chip, and again, this long layoff, are you at the beach for all of this?
No. You're very worried about my personal schedule.
I'm very worried about your time at the beach specifically. Yes.
I will be at the women's exhibition game on Friday night.
Friday night.
So
I cannot believe college basketball exhibition games starting on this weekend.
Wow.
UT Southern coming to the borough.
That's correct. And then on Monday, it's the University of the Cumberlands, not Cumberland University.
we are familiar with both universities and the difference in the two. Yeah. Okay. So you'll be back Friday.
At least.
I'm living vicariously through you, man, because anytime anybody goes to the beach, I love it. So it's great. I hope you're having a good time and getting well rested and prepared for this next push.
There you go. Because it's going to be when we get back going again. Oh, it's going to be the overlap because football on November 4th, basketball on November 6th, and then it just spirals after that through the end of November.
At least you get to go to the Bahamas, though, right?
Do you get to go to the Bahamas?
No,
that's right, because you got.
I'll be in beautiful Huntsville, Texas.
Oh yeah,
wow,
that's tough.
Wow, can you see the penitentiary from where you are?
I think that's the Friday night meal. Is it the at the cafeteria?
Got a chance to spend a little time with your basketball color analyst, by the way.
Okay.
Earlier today. Kyle Turnham, the Shelbyville girls basketball coach, was here for District 9-4A Media Days. That's what we're down here at Bosky's for. But says he's going to be doing color for both men and women this year.
That's correct. Yep. And pretty much, I mean, the schedule, it looks like it's working out pretty good. Obviously, November, December games get kind of crazy because once high schools start December 1st, that first before they start playing Tuesdays and Fridays normally, and colleges are playing Thursdays and Saturdays normally with a few Wednesdays thrown in there. It's kind of all over the place, but I think it's worked out pretty good.
Good. What else do we need to know about?
Well,
I have some football schedule news.
Talk to us.
All right. Football scheduling. This was put out by fbschedules.com a couple days ago, and it says that Middle has rescheduled 3 future football games and set the date for one non-conference contest. The first being the series with Duke. There was a home and home scheduled with Duke. We now know that the first game of that series will be September 21st of next year in the borough, and the second game will be in 2025 in Durham. The second change,
birthday in the borough.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Second change in the 2025 non-conference schedule. Middle and Austin P will play in Murfreesboro, and that will now come on August 30th instead of September 13th. And one that neither of us or any of us may be around for, the return game of Army coming to Murfreesboro after Middle went up there in 2020 will now be played September 4th, 20. Would you like to take a guess? 20, fill
31.
In the blank.
32.
32 is the correct answer.
Jeez.
Wow.
So,
there you go.
The Black Knights of the Hudson will be at Floyd Stadium in 2032.
And if Chip Walters is there, we'll be surprised.
So no more than I would be.
It sounds as if Chip Walters has no intention of being there.
No.
So
I'd love to be there. I'd love to be there for that.
Oh man.
good. The only place he'd rather be is the beach.
Yeah, there you go.
Chip,
Yes, sir.
enjoy. Have
I
some
will.
seafood for me.
I can promise you that will be accomplished. So,
Okay.
do want to remind folks, if they come to the women's exhibition on Friday night, if you bring a couple of the MTSU student food pantry, they're taking non-perishables for that at the door. So put you whatever's in the back of your pantry that you'd like to help them out with, go ahead and do that. And then Monday night, bring the kids. It will be trick or treat, and there are a lot of folks who are going to be handing out candy. So Mo, put on that Fred Flintstone uniform and bring Barney Rubble there with you, and y'all might get in free and get some candy.
That would be funny. That would be funny.
That would be, yeah, that would be hilarious.
Yeah. You may have started something there. I don't know. We'll talk off air. Appreciate it, Chip. Enjoy your time down in Florida, and we'll catch up with you next week.
All right. See you guys.
All right.
All right, it's Top 5 Tuesday still to come here in just a moment, so stick around. Top 5 movie franchises. Franchise means at least 3.
At least 3.
Could be 10.
But at least.
But at least 3.
Yeah.
So stick around for that. More Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint after this.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Custom Stone Handler supplies over 600 distributors and suppliers with quality stone products. Along with River Stone, we produce and distribute over 100 building, landscape, and other bulk products. Our goal is to provide quality products, service, and partnerships to ensure our customers' success. We firmly believe that the measure of any person or company is how they treat other people and customers. Give them a call at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com. Mockingbird Title and Escrow is an attorney-owned and operated full-service title company in Middle Tennessee. We get your deals closed without worry and fuss. We're a family business that offers the highest level of expertise in our industry when it comes to closing and funding your real estate transactions.
And it's a job I really love. I'm passionate about this. I'm enthusiastic about this. I like to think we're pretty well-rounded and can deal with a wide range of needs and a wide range of clients.
Call 615-274-8698 today.
With Lee Company technology, the best handymen are hands-off. Lee Company techs have been using visual findings and other smart technology tools for years to add transparency and virtually take customers along. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on a roof. With Lee Company, technology helps us help you, no matter what's happening in the world or at your house.
Piggly Wiggly, located in Neely's Mill Shopping Center, is Columbia's locally owned and operated Cost Plus 10 grocery store dedicated to serving the community with low prices and smiling faces. Piggly Wiggly offers fresh, hand-cut meats daily as well as daily hot plate lunches from their deli counter. You're certain to see smiling faces and a helping hand when you're here at Piggly Wiggly. Come by and check out our fresh produce, high-quality meats, and more. Down home, down the street, we'll see you at the Pig.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Murray County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic service, and our Ortho Quick Walk-In Clinic lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net.
Welcome back to us.
Are we back?
We're back for now.
There we go. I
So,
guess that's all we can worry with is now. Huh?
Yeah. It is Top 5 Tuesday. Top 5 Tuesday we'll get to in just a moment.
Hopefully.
If, good Lord willing, and the internet sticks around. Right now, though, we'll talk about the AP Top 25 as we did not or didn't get to it yesterday, so might as well get to it now. Georgia sticks at number 1. And, at this point, I've been a little leery about that. But honestly, who knows?
Well, and again, I've been asking this question.
I think Ohio State
for as long as
be.
you've been wearing, if not Georgia, who?
Well, Ohio State and Florida State both have wins over top 10 teams. Oklahoma's got to win over a top 10 team. Call me crazy, but maybe a team that's actually beaten top 10 teams should be ahead. That's at least somewhat agreeable, right?
And it's a theory. I don't necessarily disagree with it.
Which, again, that's why we have, 60 some odd voters?
63. Of which Georgia received 38 of their number 1 votes, their second lowest total.
Yeah, Michigan is certainly gaining, which is ironic considering. Heck of a time to be voting Michigan number 1.
Georgia has been number 1 19 straight weeks, which is the 3rd longest streak at number 1 in the history of the poll.
Oklahoma holds that record, right? 50 something.
I'm not seeing that information in this article from the Associated Press.
No. Oh, no, that's
Oh, no. I am seeing it. I just overread it. I can't read. Georgia's number 1 streak is behind only Miami's streak of 21 weeks from 01 to 02 and Southern Cal's 33 in a row from 03 to 05. So
there you go.
So no, Oklahoma is not.
I was thinking late 60s, early 70s. Didn't they have a 60-something game win streak?
I guess they weren't number 1 for all of it.
I guess not.
or not for more than 19 weeks of it.
Clearly.
Yeah. That's wild.
Oh, man. Well, yeah, I mean, again, it could be Ohio State. I know Florida State has struggled a couple of times this year. I know Washington struggled the other night. Oklahoma struggled against UCF and Cincinnati. But again, Georgia struggled against a lot worse teams than those.
I guess we're not penalizing folks for struggling in this season.
Well, then why is Oklahoma 6? I know they didn't move, but I guess they're not. I mean, heck, I don't know, man. It's just that's the only explanation I've got.
Meanwhile, Texas moved up a spot after struggling against Houston.
Well, yeah, because Penn State moved down 3 after losing fairly handily. I mean, the score doesn't, but they were dominated.
Yeah. As I was keeping up with the score of that ball game, I mean, it just doesn't sound like Penn State was ever in it.
Right.
At any point. Okay,
Oregon State moves up, Ole Miss moves up, Utah moves up, Notre Dame moves up.
Well, North Carolina dropped 7 spots. Louisville moves up 3 spots. Duke and Tennessee each fell 4 spots. I don't quite understand that. Alabama was
I don't
number
understand
11
either
and
of those.
Florida State.
Yeah. Number 4.
Yeah. But you lose to them and you fall like that.
And Louisville's one loss is pretty inexcusable.
Mm-hmm.
But they move up 3 spots.
But again, I'm not sure how many top 25 teams there are.
Again, after 14,
And James Madison snuck in.
throw them in a pile.
Liberty getting votes.
Liberty is number 27.
Mm-hmm. Fresno is number 30.
UNLV
got a vote.
Led by Barry Odom, baby.
Well, they did beat Vanderbilt.
They did beat Vanderbilt. Toledo getting a vote. At this point, folks are just picking a G5 team and running with them.
Well,
at this point, after 14, I might just put 10 G5 teams in there because they might be worth it. Seriously, I mean, Tulane is better than Tulane should be ranked higher than Louisville.
Rutgers is getting votes.
I know. This is the most. We've talked about it since 21. We've talked about the parity in college football and why there's parity. Obviously, super seniors still holding on. JT Daniels.
Good Lord.
But the parity is here.
Clearly.
And if you don't think the transfer portal is doing, if nothing else is doing that.
Is that good or bad?
I think it's great. I'm here for parity. I want there to be 25 one-loss teams at the end of the year.
I don't know how I asked Captain Chaos if that was good or bad.
Yeah.
But I mean, my question is more aimed at, these high school kids that we watch every Friday night.
It's not great for them. It's not. And okay. I'll put it this way. It's not great for the edge of the area kids.
It's
to get a chance. Now, that being said,
I mean, that kid that's a Power 5 recruit, he's going to be fine. That kid that's a mid-major / FCS recruit, he's in trouble.
In trouble if it's D1 or bust.
I don't know. I think he's in trouble, period. Because once those kids hit the transfer portal from those Power 5s, when TJ Finley goes to Texas State, then that's a spot that
no, I understand.
somebody else doesn't
I'm talking
get.
about D1 or bust, though. You got to change your mindset. D2 is there. NAI is
you don't
football.
feel like those kids are falling to D2 as well? I mean,
No,
I think
people aren't coming out of the transfer portal.
I think
People are not coming out of the transfer portal. This is the problem that the transfer portal has. Because those kids are transferring from the Power 5s because they think they ought to be playing at Power 5 levels. Nobody's going to get them. And they're saying, well, if I can't play Power 5, I'm not playing at all. Every kid from every level is going to have to start changing their mindset and understanding that it's not D1 or bust. And in the long run, it might end up better for those kids because they might end up in the place that they need to be. And here's the thing. If you outperform D2, guess what? The transfer portal exists.
it's a theory. And I think that there are actually some kids who are starting to adapt that. I'll go here and play my way
up
to the next level
instead of worrying about, not playing. Because here's the thing. I'd rather play as a freshman and play above that level than go somewhere, not play, and then try to figure out where I fit in.
Like you said, though, it takes the right mindset.
You got to have, and I know that, and I say this, I don't mean this derogatorily, but I know ego is part of it. It's not ego as much as it is competitiveness.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of what I mean by that. But you're going to have to understand that, yeah, you think you can play at that level. I get that. You have to think you can play at that level.
And you may not be wrong.
Go prove it.
Mm-hmm.
Go prove that you're too good for FCS football. And somebody will go get and there's one particular name that I'll tell you off the air, which you probably have in your head that embodies that. Now he's finally getting a chance to play this year, but he's at the right level play.
Mm-hmm.
Could have played 4 years if he'd have done it in the first place. And there are a lot of kids out there who are just like that. Could have played 4 years of football if you'd have gone to
the right place,
to the Gulf South or to the OVC. Instead, you tried to play ACC football or AAC football even, and couldn't get on the field. So, anyway, top 25. What were we saying? Was there a top 25 in there?
There was a link to it. Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, Florida State, Washington are 1 through 5. Oklahoma undefeated at 7-0 is number 6. Texas, Oregon, Alabama, and Penn State, which fell 3 spots after losing to Ohio State.
Okay.
Round out your top 10.
Okay, let's go into the top 25 here. You said we'll start with number 7. Texas, Oregon, Alabama, Penn State,
Mm-hmm.
Oregon State, Ole Miss, Utah.
Mm-hmm.
And now North Carolina and Louisville. We'll start there.
All with one loss.
Which of those one-loss teams has the best chance of getting in to the college football playoff?
Which of those one-loss teams has the best chance of getting into the college football playoff? You know the answer to that question when you ask it.
Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
Not Texas, because they can beat the team that beat them. And here's the thing: if both Texas and Alabama are 11-1 with or 12-1 with championship with conference championships,
and only one can get
and
in,
only one can get in, it's got to be Texas.
You would think,
right? I mean, in our world, it is. This is college football playoff.
In our world, head-to-head means something.
in the world of college football, that's
it does not.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's a ridiculous notion, Chris. I cannot believe you would even look at it.
I really can't.
Well,
so here's the thing, though. If Alabama is 12-1 with an SEC championship, then they beat Georgia in the championship game, theoretically. So Georgia's out of the mix?
Whomever they beat, probably Georgia.
Well, it's got to be Georgia.
I mean, everybody else in the East has 2 losses except Missouri. And Missouri wins this weekend. They jump to like number 5, right?
Yeah, good luck with that.
From 16 to 5,
mm-hmm.
and then lose to Tennessee the next weekend. That would be great.
That would be so 2023 college football, though.
Oh, Captain Chaos would have a party. I'd have a parade.
That would be it would make sense, though.
Oh man. But yeah, I mean, sure. But what if Penn State beats Michigan and Michigan beats Ohio State?
I don't think Penn State's beating anybody good.
I'm just saying, what if? Then what? What if Oregon State goes the rest of the way and their only loss is Washington State? They've beaten Washington. They've beaten Oregon. I mean, this is my ideal college football playoff right now would include Texas, Alabama, Oregon State, and somebody else. That would be just the perfect scenario. It would be the most ridiculous college football playoff.
Is this is the last year of the 4-year plan,
Yes,
right?
12
Goes to
next
12 next year. Not soon enough for the playoff committee.
No, the committee's going, geez, can we just
Not
motion-
soon enough.
motion?
Can we move this up a year, please? Because I mean, you've got what, 6 undefeateds and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You've got 7 undefeateds counting Air Force and 10 more one-loss teams.
Is that including Tulane?
It's not.
So, and then James Madison is also undefeated. Who is going to be the only undefeated team by the end of the year? Let's go. James Madison.
Well, Air Force.
And Air Force, baby. Let's go. For
What
the
if
national
James
title.
Madison and Air Force both went undefeated?
Well, James Madison's not eligible for a bowl. Air Force wins
by default.
Give me Air Force, James Madison, Oregon State, and Michigan, who may or may not have to vacate a title.
Should they win it?
Should they win it? Give me that.
Yeah. Goodness gracious.
No, man. Let's take a break. Our final break of the day. Top 5 Tuesday. Top 5 movie. Not trilogies, but franchises. But at least a trilogy.
Which released, yeah.
At least a trilogy.
Which is unfortunate because it knocks out one of my favorites because there's only 2 of them. But we'll talk about that on the other side of the break.
Stick around. We'll be right back.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net.
With Lee Company technology, the best handymen are hands-off. Lee Company techs have been using visual findings and other smart technology tools for years to add transparency and virtually take customers along. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on a roof. With Lee Company, technology helps us help you, no matter what's happening in the world or at your house.
Jones & Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50 plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, zioneagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's zioneagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today. Mockingbird Title and Escrow is an attorney-owned and operated full-service title company in Middle Tennessee. We get your deals closed without worry and fuss. We're a family business that offers the highest level of expertise in our industry when it comes to closing and funding your real estate transactions.
And it's a job I really love. I'm passionate about this. I'm enthusiastic about this. I like to think we're pretty well rounded and can deal with a wide range of needs and a wide range of clients.
Call 615-274-8698 today.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Murray County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic service, and our Ortho Quick Walk-In Clinic lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net.
Welcome back into Main Street Sports Day, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Chris Yao and Maurice Patton. Justin Kulik on the controls. It's Top 5 Tuesday. Mid-South 5 Fitness. Dallas Steele and the fine folks at Mid-South 5 Fitness keeping you fit. Yeah. Not me. You.
No, not me. You.
At stillathletes.com. Today's Top 5 movie franchises, which are inclusion of three or more movies.
And that, again, as I said, as we were going to the break, that's a disappointing cutoff to me because one of my favorites is 48 Hours. and another 48 hours, but there's not a third 48 hours. But I did just think of one, and it'll probably be my number one.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Dude.
Okay.
For 72 hours, you would have got it.
Yeah, right.
They made one. You've been all right.
Exactly.
All right. Well, we'll start with a Google random number generator.
How random is this number generator anyway?
Well,
Yeah,
it's really
picking.
hard. It's really hard to do because it is only 3 numbers. So generate. All right, it's working. Here we go. Justin, you will be number 1. Mo, number 3. Be number 2. All right, here we go.
All
Justin,
right.
go ahead.
Numero uno for me is Star Wars. Gotta be. Love those films. I know.
You could have got that at 5 because neither
I
one of
know.
us would take it.
I know. But I had to.
I was a little concerned. I'm less concerned now. If you take my number 1, I will punch you on air.
Well, my number 1 is Ocean's 11.
Okay, you're safe.
Which Ocean's 11, 12, and 13, of course. The 13 being the women of the franchise.
Okay.
Like 8, wasn't it 8 or Ocean's 8? Wasn't that the women's one? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's right. It sure was. You're right.
My number 1, and like I said, I just thought of it about 45 seconds ago. It's Friday.
Oh, yeah.
Say it again.
Friday.
Next Friday, and Friday after next.
There we go.
Dang, that's a go on.
All right. Numero 2.
It's,
it's
your go.
It is my go. Because we are Serpentine.
All right.
Yes.
I like it.
My number 2 then is Beverly Hills Cop. 1, 2, and 3.
Not to get mixed up with Beverly Hills Chihuahua.
Yeah.
We're Serpentine when it most benefits Chris at number 2. This is how it works out.
There you go.
There we go. I am going to go with. Oh man, I just had it in my head and completely forgot.
Will you make a clock?
Well, if I maybe I can get it back. I'm going to go with Major League.
Oh, that's a good one. Were there 3 of those?
The third one was trash.
Back to the Bushes? Yeah.
The third one was trash, but it did have 3.
I'm gonna go with the Italian Stallion, Rocky.
Okay. And now it's your turn again, Justin.
Oh yeah. Let's go Godfather.
That's a good one. It was on my list. I'm going to go with Back to the Future.
Nice.
Sure.
Watched all those in a day, and they were great.
So it's my turn, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. My number 3, and I have kids that were growing up during this era, I guess. So, or maybe not. Anyway, Despicable Me.
Oh,
that's a delightful choice.
I love Gru, man.
Yeah, he's good. Steve Carell kills it.
Mm-hmm.
Mo,
it's my turn again.
It's
That's
your turn
right.
again.
Okay. Again, I have kids. Toy Store.
That's an absolutely great pick at value at number 4.
Mm-hmm.
My number 4 the Bourne series. Jason Bourne.
Nice.
All right, Justin.
I'm gonna go Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh,
Good pick.
That is a good one, man. Movie franchises, we could do like a
This
top
is fun.
10.
Yeah, I like
This is good. This is good. All right.
And then for my last pick, I'm gonna throw a little bit of a wild card. I really liked the new Planet of the Apes movies with Caesar, and James Franco was in the first one.
Didn't watch them, but that's great for you. I'm kidding.
Your last pick?
My last pick, man, there's like 5 or 6 good ones, but I got to go with the Mighty Ducks.
Such a good pick. Oh my god.
Oh, the great value in 5.
Bro.
I will see your great value in 5 with the Mighty Ducks and raise it with James Bond.
Nice.
That's an interesting, and James, so the 007, because there's like 3, you could actually go with 3 different franchises within that with the different actors.
With the actors.
And what is your favorite James Bond era?
Either Sean Connery or Roger Moore. Pierce Brosnan, not so much, really.
Was he the newest one?
No, Pierce Brosnan was the 90s.
Oh.
GoldenEye.
Yeah, I like the earlier ones.
I mean, this dude now, what's his name, is really good.
The English guy?
Daniel
Day-Lewis.
No, it's Daniel something.
Yeah.
He's solid.
It's Daniel Craig.
But I like the earlier guys better.
Daniel Craig, yeah. But I think Connery's the best. I mean, he's the one who, iconized shaken not stirred, which is the worst way to order a martini because now it's watered down.
Well, see, I don't like either gin or vodka, so I'm not.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, like, if you're gonna order a martini, I'm not gonna order any mixed drink shaken with ice. That defeats half the purpose.
Well, unless it's a margarita.
Well, yeah, but you're putting ice in it. A martini doesn't have ice in it.
True.
Margaritas typically come with ice, and so I don't know.
What about y'all?
Do what?
What about y'all's Batman? Who's your favorite?
Oh, see, that's another trilogy.
Yeah, there were some good ones still out. Indiana Jones
is a good one.
Matrix.
The Matrix. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from the 90s was me not taking that was a big upset by me.
What about Legally Blonde?
Love
it, bro.
Give them to me.
Give
me.
Second
was
one
on my list. Yeah.
Just as good as the first.
So I don't. Typically, and that's the thing. Typically, after 2, it's over. Like, just stop. Bad Boys.
Yo.
Oh. What was was there a third?
Yes, they just Bad Boys for Life.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Spider-Man was good. But I don't like that kind of.
That was a gaffe.
Bad Boys, and here's the thing: the third movie always sucks. Typically, almost always.
Well, that's like terrible. Beverly Hills Cop 3 was. They really kind of jumped the shark on that one, but 1 and 2 were so good.
Well, and that's the thing is, but if your third one is good,
then you're.
And Bad Boys' third one was really good. God, that breaks my heart. Anyway, come back tomorrow with us on Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee.
A lot of racing. A lot of racing tomorrow. Yeah.
We're going to go around and around in circles. We'll see you then. Main Street Sports Today. Have a good one.